Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tales podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my queen consort,
Karen.
And it is a recap Wednesday. We're ready to talk about House of the Dragon.
Yes, we are.
You know what we do, y'all. We're going to get right into it, but up front, you know, I got to say a couple things. First of all, the official weapon of the show is...
phone chair.
And the unofficial sport...
bullet ball.
And bullet ball extreme. This episode is episode 6 of season 2. It's called Small Folk. And before we say anything, just understand the ground rules of the feedback. You can write in, no problem, but you got to keep no predictions because we don't fucking read the books. And many of you have just read the books. You've been looking at everybody else's podcast. They've been reading the books telling y'all what's going to happen. You being able to predict it means nothing to us. We won't remember your name. We won't be like, oh my God, they were right. So just make your own podcast, write your own blog. We like to not know. Keep it short if you write in. We don't want to be reading chapters. That we just read the book.
Right? If we want to read all that.
Some of you verbose motherfuckers think that it's so interesting to hear your thoughts. You got to go start a Medium, right? We don't need that. Get you a Slack or whatever the fuck they calling it these days. Substack. Get you a Substack. Don't write in before the recaps. Y'all been doing a kick-ass job this season. Nobody's been just, oh man, it's Sunday night. Here's 12 pages of shit that y'all just I don't even know what y'all gonna say yet. But here's my thoughts on what you should say. No, we don't want that. You're here for our opinions. We not here for yours. That's just the way that this microphone thing works. The shows already be long as hell. We don't need to make them even longer.
Don't nobody want no 8-hour feedback show.
Right, and that's the rules. It's that simple. It's that easy. Karen, we need to put our crowns on. Get crowned up in here. And we do have some wine in the building. You know we love that. And I always forget which one I played last week. But we do have, of course, intro music before we start into the recap. So let me play some of this intro music. I don't remember if this was one.
We back? It's the villain, baby.
I think it's this one.
It's the villain, baby. It's the recap. Fell 5 and Blackout Tips. We doing it again.
Doing it again. Let's go.
It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. It don't matter if you're 4 feet or 8'1", or if you 1'1", or if you Cyrex. All these houses bend the knees and being targets. Vagar got colonized by the one-eyed devil. The blood of Valeria gon' bring a bunch of shovels. I hope the right side pull it off. You know who I'm with. Peace to the team black, baby. They the realest.
We love to see it. We love to hear it. Shout out to Felt 5. We appreciate you. Let's get into this recap. Karen, what'd you think about this episode in general?
This episode was good. I had a great time watching, seeing everything that happened, seeing how everything kind of played out. Like this right here was one of the episodes where it was just plot twists, like twist, and you really didn't know what direction things were gonna go in. But I was like, oh, so that's what we doing, okay.
This episode was okay to me, and I didn't dislike it or anything. I think rewatching it really confirmed that for me, because it's a lot of setup and a lot of like talky talk, which is fine, but like a lot of the talk was recapping what we knew already. And some of the plot lines felt like they didn't move forward necessarily too much, but that they were set up to move forward the next time. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, nothing's really gonna happen with this, but eventually when something happened with this, it's about to go down.
Right.
And this episode, it felt like every plot line was, it's about to be some shit, but it wasn't some shit, you know.
Right. They caught me. I was like, oh, word, about to be some shit.
Yeah, I feel like episode, because they only have 8, so it's kind of throwing everything off. You only got 8 this season.
Oh, and they normally do 10.
Yeah, and I think before that, maybe even 13 in the original series. But with it only being 8, back in the day, episode 9 or like the penultimate episodes used to be the ones where shit went down.
Yeah, something major would happen where you'd be like, oh my God, what are y'all gonna do now?
And with 8, I'm wondering, do you have shit go down in 7? Or do you really just wait till 8 because that's about the right
time and be like, see y'all next season?
Yeah, I have no idea. But like, I'm obviously in on the show. I love the show. I obviously can't wait for the next episode. But yeah, it was a little bit like, especially as I was writing the notes, I'm like, I feel like I'm just saying shit we already said. But you know, that being said, there was still some really cool stuff and we're gonna have fun. I broke it down into locations. Up front, there's some very short ones, and then there's like 3 long ones and then 1 short one. That's right, 6 locations. The Golden Tooth, the Vale, Harrenhal, Dragonstone, King's Landing, and then Driftmark. Oh my fucking God. These things, this is 8 pages today. I'm looking at, oh my God. I shouldn't look at the bottom of Word. Apparently...
Shouldn't look at the bottom of Word.
When people say our reviews are better, I'm going to tell y'all why. 4,372 words. That's what the fuck I did typing all this shit out. And it's like I'm typing the script or every word of the thing I'm summarizing and it's still that long. Anyway, here we go. The Golden Tooth. We ain't never seen this location before. And it literally got some golden teeth on the road. Just sitting on the side of the road.
In the front, they were like, y'all, this is the set we claim, gold teeth.
Right. Like,
where your gold grill?
Right, exactly. And so Jason Lannister rolls up on a location called the Golden Tooth, and there's like a dude that's like the Lord of, I forget his name, because they don't say it, but you can go look it up, but the Lord meets them with like a couple of his cats on horses, and they like, oh shit, they met him at the gate. Now I know this move. Every black person know this move. You meet them at the door because you don't want them to come inside. That's why you meet people at the door. You like, they like, oh, we going to the game together, man. I'm gonna roll by your house. If you meet them at the door, that means just let's get in the car and keep going.
Right. If they already outside waiting on you, yeah, let's keep strolling.
Yeah, and so the Lannisters roll up, and Buddy is like, hey, what's up, player? We got 500 men. We joining the army.
Yeah.
We ready to roll out. Yeah. I'm assuming we marching on Harrenhal.
Yeah, let's go. Like that's why we came up here, so we can just continue to keep going.
Right. And there's no need to come in, use the bathroom or nothing like that. We can just ride on out.
I mean, if you got, you want some water, somebody hand you some water, but we need to keep this party strolling.
Yeah, like, like everybody good? Y'all ready to go? And Jason Lannister, the other twin. Jason Lannister is like, bruh, we got 1,000 knights. We got 7,000 archers and men at arms. We got lions in cages. We
bought the whole circus.
Right. And I'm still scary. I'm scared. I don't want to go to battle yet. I am going to come in your house and put my feet on the couch. Can you send a text to Aemond and them and tell them we ready to ride on Harrenhal as soon as we get a dragon? As soon as he, with haste, flies his motherfucking dragon ass out here, then we can go ahead and march on Harrenhal. Until then, we just gonna make use of your hospitality, kick it up in here,
eat all your food, right. Sleep in all your beds.
And they look like, if we have 500 men that are in our army, we don't have food to feed 10,000 of y'all.
That's what I was about to say. We literally can't accommodate y'all. Like, we gonna run out of food within days.
Like, y'all lucky we didn't just close the gates and then look out the blinds and turn all the lights off and
like
put the food.
Jehovah's Witnesses be like, nope.
And put the food back in the oven and act like we ain't been cooking. Like, y'all lucky we even came to meet y'all, and we willing to ride and die for y'all. And y'all about to come in here and just sit up in here eating all our good food, the big piece of chicken and shit.
Right, because we don't know how long that's going to take.
Right. So that's it. That happened at the Golden Tooth. We don't see them again. Then there's the Vale. the Vale is where Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra's little boys went. They walk around a hillside, and she's telling him some Debbie Downer shit, because Rhaenyra don't like her situation. Right. She ain't got a dragon. They sent her away in the middle of the battle. Right. She is a Targaryen. She want to fight.
Poor thing. She out there like Joe Biden. I stepped down because they pushed me out, not because I wanted to leave. I guess. Oh.
And so she's telling the little boy, like one of the sons, the oldest little son, like, your mama don't mean nothing by it, but some people just not meant for greatness. We just have to help and serve the realm in smaller ways, for the greater good.
Yeah, for the greater good.
And he too young to understand, so he just like, I want my mommy. And she's like, I know, baby boy, I know. But then they stop dead in their tracks, because she looks down at the ground and sees the carcasses of burned sheep. Now, who fuck eats burned sheep? Dragons.
Who's burning the sheep? Dragons.
And then it zooms out. We get a drone shot, and the motherfucking burn mark is big as hell.
Yes, it is. It's huge.
So we know this a big dragon.
Right. This ain't no baby dragon.
And so they go back inside. And now the youngest baby, I think his name is Aegon too, but the youngest baby is playing with their little baby dragon. It's a little cute, adorable baby puppy dragon.
Right. And like, it is so adorable.
And they're sitting there playing with toys and stuff. And so Rhaenyra's like looking on, and Lady Jane comes in. Lady Jane Arryn. Now, her and Rhaenyra kind of had a couple smart mouth back and forth and shit. And she comes in and she's like, hey, good news. Prince Regio hit us up. That's the prince of Pentos, where they stayed with their mama and Daemon back in the day. He said y'all could come stay with him. So, you and your brothers, y'all good. And so Rhaenyra's like kind of blown. And
right.
Jane's like, what's with the long face? You want to get out of here? I thought you didn't like any of this shit. And Rhaenyra's like, you lied to me.
Right, because you made a big ass thing about these baby dragons and how it was not enough. You made sure to tell me that it was an issue.
You told me y'all need a dragon. I went walking. A dragon definitely been feeding around here.
Right.
Y'all do have a dragon. And Lady Jane is like, oh, no. That's a wild dragon. Like, that motherfucking dragon is not ours.
It ain't got no owner.
It just do what it want to
do.
We had heard rumors about it. We don't know who dragon it was.
Who it belonged to.
It
just showed up one day. We was like, I guess you got it.
Yeah, so if you talking about us defending ourselves against Vhagar or some shit, we don't have a dragon. Like, you don't have a dragon if you can't fucking ride it. Then
right.
That's just a dragon that has you.
Ain't that the truth?
So then Jane was like, yeah, it's a wild dragon, but it's a ship called the Gay Abandon. Shout out to Mike Pence, that is going to take them to Pentos later. But I clearly get the feeling, I think it's kind of obvious, Rhaenyra gonna try to tame that dragon.
Oh yeah, she gonna go get that dragon. Like, but it's got 1 or 2 more episodes, like 2 more episodes left. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure if it's not the next one, possibly maybe one of the last scenes of her getting up on that dragon or making some form of a connection with that dragon.
Because that dragon big as fuck.
Yes.
We haven't seen it yet. I don't know that she will tame it. I don't know. I hope so, because
but
I just
don't try.
I don't want this motherfucking show to kill this little black girl. But she's gonna try. She's crazy for a dragon.
Yeah, she was like, look, I want to fight. I got fire in my blood too. My sister and my, brother-in-law can't be the only ones out here, fighting, and my stepmom, my mom died by dragon, I this is me, and she like her sister. I don't give a nothing. I don't care nothing about that salt and sea and seashells. I want a dragon.
Yeah, and she has, like, almost died a couple times. They keep telling us. I don't think they've shown us. But she's almost died a couple times trying to tame dragons. Now, while some people be like, they learned their lesson, if you listen to what she was telling that little boy, she ain't learned shit. She's like, I want to be important. this fucking sucks. If I had a dragon, I bet you my ass would be important.
Right, sitting me on the sidelines and telling me I can't do shit.
And now we got untamed dragons just walking around, and Lady Jane was keeping it a secret.
Child, gotta catch 'em all.
She was so mad at Lady Jane. She was
right, she was like, that should
Tell
been...
the folks that, you bitch.
She was like, that should have been the first thing you told me. I would have been setting up plan days ago. Out here fucking talking a lot about to these kids. I'd have been out here trying to get my ass a dragon.
So that's it for the Vale. Now we gotta go to everybody's least favorite location, or maybe it's y'all's favorite location. I don't know, but we gotta go back to motherfucking Harrenhal. So Daemon is, of course, living the dream, literally.
He's still in it.
He's still in it. We start with him in a dream. Now this time they make it so blurry that you don't have any, like the screen's so blurry you know he in the dream.
Yes.
Like it's in motherfucking dream the filter. And so he's having another one. He's waking nightmares. He walks into the Iron Throne room where Viserys is in there. You know, they brought the actor back, I guess, to refilm it.
I love this actor.
Yeah, I love when stuff like this happens on TV shows where, like, I love an actor in a role, and then I'm like, damn, they killed off the role. But then you can do, like, dreams and flashbacks, and I'm like, oh, no, they still got a job. So this is back to season 1. It's after Daemon was accused of saying that Viserys's stillborn child was heir for a day in a brothel full of people. Now we never see Daemon say that. That's the choice the show has made, to never really show us Daemon, some of what Daemon's worst deeds are accused of being. A lot of times they cut away.
Yeah, and that's what Otto Hightower told him. He said,
right. So we assume that he said it, but we never know, and he doesn't really do much to refute it. But it's almost exactly the scene from season 1, but clearly like reshot. And he dresses Daemon down and tells him, "You're not gonna be the heir. You and your lady bride go to Runestone." And he starts crying in his chair, and it's obviously this over the top dream crying stuff, right? He starts crying in his chair, and you see Daemon for a second go to comfort him.
yes.
But he hesitates, and then he backs down off of the throne, and then he turns and tries to run out of the throne room, but the door is locked. And he's like, open the door, open the door. At first he's yelling. He looks back. Viserys takes off his crown and stares at him in disappointment. And then Daemon falls to his knees and starts begging someone to open the door. And this is just another one of these visions that I can't unsee. The theme is Daemon is cucked by love. Like, loving somebody and caring what they think about you, to him, is like giving them power over you. And in this case, his dead brother's memory and the disappointment and the regret of those moments, and as he's sitting on the throne that Daemon wanted, that he'll never get to have, he's having this nightmare. He's terrorized by it. And, you know, it's just so, it means so much. And I'll bring it up again later in a different scene. But he snaps back. He's in real life now. Okay, no more dreams. He's been begging someone to open the door. It's the door to the dining chamber of Harrenhal. Sir Simon Strong opens the door. He's like, "Yo, can I help you? May I be of assistance, Your Grace?"
Right. He was, and what did he do that for? Because he pulled out a knife and was like, "Hey, what the fuck y'all doing? Y'all doing something?"
Yeah, Daemon grabs Simon by the scruff of the collar, demands to know what game. He's like, "What game are you playing at?" And he's like, and then these people get up to help to be like, "Hey man, calm down." And Daemon's like, "Sit y'all ass down." And everybody sits back down. I'm the one
talking.
Right. And then Simon's like, "Your Grace, have you been getting enough sleep?" And why he say that? Because, you know, Daemon in these waking nightmares, he like, "Bitch, you been putting me to sleep. It's you."
I'm getting too much sleep.
You a friend by day, a foe by night. Simon's like, "Now why would I do that?" And Daemon pulled out the knife on his ass, and he was like, "Maybe you resent that I even came here. You might be working for the High Towers or Laris or Rhaenyra herself. And I was like, damn, he think Rhaenyra would do this to him.
Who you work for, the ops?
He is out of it.
Yes, he is.
He think everybody betraying him.
Yeah, you're not sleeping. You having nightmares and drink. After a while, your mind would crack like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's sad to see him going out like this.
Right.
I mean, he's just so. It's like these are not even strong accusations. It felt more like paranoid delusions.
Yes.
And of course we're like, ever since you started drinking that drink,
right,
that Alice made, you ain't been right, bro.
I mean, every time you turn the cup up or down, you in another location, dog. Like,
right.
Something wrong.
How is it Simon's fault
Right.
that you can't stop yourself from hitting that drink? And so when he pulls out the knife, everybody gets up again, but then Simon waves them down like, no, y'all calm down, sit down.
Yeah, don't cause a panic.
Simon starts shushing him like a baby. Like when you try to get a baby to go to sleep or something, he's like, shh, shh. Like he's trying to get him to go back to the waking nightmare. I don't know.
Trying to get him to calm down.
Something about that, Daemon kind of snaps out of it and he says, whatever your game is strong, I assure you, your king is on his guard. And he starts walking away and he goes, and stop watching me.
See? Who's watching me?
And so then he stalks off. We see him packing. He packs his shit up and he is going to get on his dragon and get the fuck out of town.
He's like, I've had enough of this bullshit. I ain't slept in days. Every time I blink my eyes, I'm in another room. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know what conversations have been had.
Right.
I'm fucking my mama. Keep seeing my wife. I'm chopping heads off. I'm seeing my brother. This is too much. I gotta get the fuck out of here. And it started when I got here.
But as he goes to leave, we see Alice standing alone in the courtyard out there by the face tree and shit. And she sees him, walking to leave, and she stops him.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
And says, you weren't even gonna bid me farewell? Cause she always got jokes.
All right, he's like, farewell for what, bitch? I'm out.
Right. And he's like, look, you and this Addams Family cosplay shit is killing me.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's happening right now, but somebody poisoned me in the food or the wine, or maybe it's this fucking swamp air. But y'all got your boy tripping. I got to get the fuck out of here. And she's like, or it could be the ghost of Harren the Black moaning his curses from Kingspire Tower. And then he goes off on her because he don't like all these motherfucking jokes. And so he's like,
the fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. And let's get the fuck out this country, motherfucker. I can't even see me.
And so he's like, it's all drivel, all of it. The ghost, the curses, the blasted werewood bed, all of it. I'm done with it. And then you even hear his dragon in the background, like, yeah, let's go.
Right. He looked at her like, fuck you and his whole Allen. I'm out.
And she's like, well, that's how you do. Just like in season 1, when you didn't get your way.
Cause I read the book.
You always run. I was watching the behind the DVD footage.
Behind the scenes.
I was listening to the director's commentary. And just like you did with Dragonstones, the Stepstones, Pentos, and now Harrenhal, you stay running when you need to sit down and go through some shit. And he's like, I keep waking up. I don't even know where I've been. She's like,
right.
Listen, it's things that are older in this world besides you and me and living memory. Them old guys on your ass, boy.
Them old ones.
They on your ass right now, boy. You not the main character. You just a piece on the board, same as me. That's your problem. You think you him, and you not him. And he says, I'm not like you. She said, in some ways, no, but you fail to see things because your anger blinds you. And he starts talking about how his anger was blinding him because he wasn't even listening to it. He was just like, Rhaenyra never even really wanted the crown. And Alice is like, well, that's probably why Viserys made her the heir.
Because she did not want it.
Right. What's a leader if he isn't reluctant? You know? And then he yells at her, don't lecture me. And then she was like, okay, but Viserys didn't want the crown either. It's not a prize to be won, but a burden to bear. And then she sits next to him and he's like, well, you got any advice on how to deal with the River Lords? And she's like, oh, you want some help? And he's like, no, I just want some counsel. And she's like, well, you know, House Tully is the key to everything. Once again, we already know this. That's the old nigga that won't die.
That's Grover.
And she says the Rivermen respect the Tullys. They gonna never do anything without they say. They made of mud. But they'll work together if Tully bring them together. And he's like, that nigga is old and he's slow with the dying. Like,
right,
what the
he
fuck?
Ain't never gonna die.
That you not helping me at all. There's nothing I can do.
He gonna outlive all of us.
Right. And she was like, well, there's nothing you can do. And then she says that her owl, I didn't even know she had an owl. Owl just landed on her arm out of nowhere. This fucking hot topic ass weirdo.
Yeah, she didn't even have one of them things on her arms. I was like, ain't this getting your skin? She's like, nope, I got this.
And she feed the owl loose mice pieces that she just keep in her pockets. I know it smells crazy up in there.
You know,
It's no way. It's no way.
No way. And it would not be surprising if she could see through that owl, because that's the only way she would know that.
Oh, it's a ward.
Just the only way she would know that owl was coming and was there. Like, it don't make sense.
Well, normally when they do the warging, their eyes gray over, and you can like when they're warging, you can see that they like are using the creature. Remember from the old Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Like maybe it could be a pet owl, right? She could have like some type of rapport with it. It could be an animal she uses to warg, but it's also her pet.
True.
But I don't think she was warging at that moment just because her eyes would have been grayed out. Unless the show has changed the way that power looks. Because I just remember when Bran used to warg, his eyes would roll back in his head and turn gray, and then we'd see like, oh, he's seeing as a hawk or whatever. But yeah, it could be because she could be doing it.
Cause she be saying wild shit like I'm a mouse climbing in a house. She be like, ma'am, what are you talking about?
She did say I could be a barn owl turned to a life or some shit. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just guessing too.
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely possible. I just think in this moment, the motherfucker it's just a weird thing to do. She didn't even say like, oh, watch out, my owl coming. She was just like, well, maybe you can't help him. Oh, here go my owl. I'm not even gonna talk to you about it. I'm not gonna say his name. And then I also always wonder how the actors do this, because like whenever you take a role like this, I feel like that's something that doesn't come up. Like acting must be like, this is why acting is so hard, because in real life I would be scared as fuck of an owl. Have y'all seen an owl in person? That shit's scary.
And they claws is long, and and
they're apex predators.
They will fuck you up.
And just because you took a role doesn't mean your character not scared of owls. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was some training involved, or
something had to happen,
or a stunt double, or like a person.
But in the scenes where it's literally on her arm, then someone had to like either sit it on her arm or something. But it's just anyway. It's just stuff like that always interests me, because I'm like, it's like when you see a character and the character has like a pet snake. I'm like, the character got a pet snake. There's not enough acting in the world. Oh, we just gonna sit the boa constrictor on your neck. No, you're not. I think we need to change this to he got a pet cat, and the cat is in the other room. Like this, like Harry Potter got a he not Slytherin no more. We switching it up. So then I know Harry Potter's not Slytherin, guys. Come on, guys. But then he finally says, "I need help, Alice." Now his pride. This is one we should have known. It's fucking with him.
Yes, he had broke because that nigga does not ask for help.
We should have known that he was hurt, because his prideful ass was like, I do need help. Fuck what I said earlier about needing counsel. I need motherfucking help. Right. I'm drawing crazy.
And I can't do this on my own.
And she says, do nothing now, and in 3 days the winds will shift.
That's been the theme for the past few episodes. Do nothing. Cause that's what
Allison told Aegon.
Right, do nothing. Just don't do shit. Do nothing.
Right.
Doing nothing sometimes is very valuable.
Now I took this as like either her witchy powers mean she know the future, or she gonna do something. And so she walked back in with her owl.
Yes, she did.
And this time we go back to the well. Daemon having another dream.
Yes, he is, poor thing.
So this dream,
he can't get no peace.
In this dream, Viserys is crying over his wife who died in labor in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, Daemon wasn't even there for this.
No.
Because they was on the outs. He showed up afterwards. And so Daemon isn't there in the dream this time, and he comforts Viserys as Viserys cries. And he gently, sweetly kisses his brother on the head.
Yeah, he loves his brother.
Once again, remind me to bring this up later. And he says, "You needed me. I'm here now. I'm here now." And it was very sweet, especially now. You know what I mean? Like, because all his dreams have been about the power this has over him and him like refusing to accept it. So then in the dream, it's always a bad dream. It's never a good dream. It's always like feeling like rocked to your core that you got cucked in your dream and like you ain't shit and everyone thinks they're better than you and all this stuff. And in this case, it's not like that. Like, this is the first dream that felt like he got closure almost, or something close to closure, where it's just like, hey, I actually love my brother, and and I don't know, it's like a level of like forgiving yourself in that dream that I don't know, it's something about it I really loved. And then he wakes up from the dream because Simon Strong wakes him up. And this time I like how they filmed it, because we see Simon Strong wake him up. In the other dreams, it's like something happens and then he snaps to when Simon Strong is there. But in this case, Simon Strong came and he said, "I have some sad news to deliver." And we see that there's an empty cup of drink on the table, flipped over. So, Daemon been drinking that drink. And Simon says, Oscar Tully is dead. And Daemon goes, who's that? The old man? And he's like, yeah.
That old man? We've been waiting to die forever?
Yeah, he said, yeah, he dead. He dead, dog. And he said, now, to Simon, as a human being, a real person with emotions and empathy, it is sad news. The Lord of this area he died,
and it's gonna matter
after a long battle, and it means something. To Daemon, this is the best news he's ever heard.
Yes, it is.
He like, finally, this motherfucker's dead.
Right, I can get shit done.
We can start moving forward.
And the look on his face was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right. And then so Simon says, well, Alice Rivers went to help Oscar Tully with his medical condition, but sadly he died, even though nothing more could be done. And I'm like, oh, she motherfucking poisoned this nigga. She killed him for Daemon. That's how she knew. I thought she could read the future. No, she said, I'm gonna go kill him, wait 3 days, the news will come back to you, and then you'll be able to try to unite this realm and get your army together. Okay, trust me.
They was like, we need some help. I volunteer. No, not you. Not you, goth girl. You stay away.
What you mean?
I said they was like, if come and help and she volunteered, somebody should have said, you, goth girl.
Yeah, well, she helped. She helped Daemon.
She sure did.
But
she helped.
The best part of this scene is the reaction, because it's not overjoy, like smiling, laughing. It's not even like a evil smirk. I love this choice. I love this writing. I love whoever decided this. he breaks down crying.
It's a relief.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like, okay, finally, almost like I've been here by myself, struggling, trying to get through this with my pride the best I know how. I done burned bridges. You know, I fell out with my wife. I came over here out of spite. You know, and he was at his wit's end, basically.
He's so tired.
Yes, he is.
He thought this was going to be so easy.
He did.
But it just reminds me of what Larry said about how it was going to fuck him up trying to run Harrenhal. Laris is like, we don't need to send no army. This motherfucker trying to run Harrenhal will exhaust him. And it really took him to the fucking brink. If not for Alice, this motherfucker would have never figured that shit out.
No.
So then, hold on, am I frozen on the screen? Oh no, okay, I'm moving. All right. I was worried. So then that's it for Harrenhal. We say goodbye to the family. Time to go to King's Landing. Aemond is running the meetings.
He running the motherfucking ship.
He's running things.
Yes, he is. I'm in charge.
Right. And so with Aemond in charge, wearing the all black with the eye patch, the first shot we get of him is him reading the letter from Jason Lannister's scary ass talking about, can you come down here on your dragon with haste before I attack Harrenhal? And now, of course, Jason Lannister's brother is Tylan Lannister, who's on the small council.
Right.
And so the amount of energy that he directed towards this man, like they twin bond was psychic or something, was crazy. Cause he's not feeling it. And he's like, oh, and then this was his episode. This actor, he the MVP of the week.
Yes, he is.
Like I don't know his name. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna look it up right now.
But I love the person that plays that role.
Yes.
He be acting his ass off.
That motherfucking Ewan Mitchell. Okay, Ewan Mitchell was serving. Okay, he was serving face, serving looks, serving like attitude. He was serving people. He was amazing this week. I love a proper villain. But even the way his voice changed as he's now running the meeting, because we've never really seen him hype. Like we've seen him snarling, we've seen him sneering, we've seen him snide. We've never seen him just like aggressive. And he chose to do it in a way that I thought was so interesting, because his brother Aegon we've seen be aggressive all the time, yelling at people and I'm bored.
He
and
had no balance. Yeah,
right. But he was doing it in a way that was so domineering.
He's strategic. And
the way he was like, he dares summon me, like it's the way he delivered the line. I said, ooh, he finna get him. He was
like, you telling me to come up there?
He was giving us Nino when the Carter fell, you know?
Right.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
It was that. And so he's like, Tylan, why is your brother a whole bitch?
Yes, he did.
He need to escort the Harrenhal with that big ass army of his. And Tylan like, hey man, come on, like chill out, don't call my brother a bitch. I mean, you know, Daemon got that big ass dragon out there though. And Aemond like, but he ain't got no motherfucking army.
Right, he doesn't have an army.
Just go fucking take the shit. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm very much more of a Jason Lannister than I am a just run up in there without no dragon ass nigga. I absolutely would be like, I'm not attacking till I see a motherfucking dragon in the skyline on our side, because
he'll flame us off, which I understand that.
It only take like one dragon to fuck us all up. We ain't got nothing that can shoot up there. Ain't no surface to air missiles in the motherfucking. We ain't got no lock systems, no drones. Right. Bitch, we dead. There's no satellites.
We can't throw these lions up there.
We will be motherfucking 8,000 flambés out this bitch. It'll be a barbecue for real. No, but at the same time, I like that Aemond. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. And so, Tylan, you know, gets cut off because Aemond wouldn't let nobody answer no questions. And he's like, look, tell Jason get his ass to Harrenhal, or that dragon gonna be the least of his worries, okay? And then Allison tries to interject like, I understand it's annoying, but he just cut her off like,
yeah, he chili graped the fuck out of her. He
Right.
was like, I don't know, is somebody talking?
right. He's like, he was not feeling her at all for even trying to interject. He's like,
Don't you shut the fuck up. Nobody here wants to listen to your misguided bullshit.
and so
That's what he might as well have said to her.
so he skipped right over her shit. And then he tells Tylen, also, I got another task for you. You gonna make an alliance with the Triarchy and end the blockade. Now, the Triarchy are from season 1. They are the people that united behind the crab feeder. The motherfucking dude that we thought was gonna be a problem, and then Daemon took care of his ass in like an episode later.
Yeah, he did.
And became like a war hero and shit. And so, and Sea Smoke too helped. But so like, he's like, we gonna make a deal with them. They already hate the sea snake. They beef go way back. And they got a navy, and they closer than the Lannisters and the Hightowers, who we're waiting on them to get their ships together. It's gonna take too long to try to move through the blockade or whatever. Motherfuckers we ain't getting no food. Like it's too fucked up right now. We gonna go ahead and make this risky move with the Triarchy. Thailand is like, hey bro, you can't trust the Triarchy. They basically like mercenaries and pirates.
Right.
We should not
do business with them.
We shouldn't do no business with them. And then Allison reiterates this, like, yeah, we shouldn't do it. And Aemond is so fucking smart. He's like, I'm not really making a treaty with them for real. I don't trust them, but they'll be enough of a distraction to the Sea Snake and their military, their navy, that our real allies, the Hightowers and the Lannister ships, will be able to get here while that distraction is
while they
happening.
wasting time, right?
Which is so fucking smart.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I know I can't trust them. I'm gonna break the treaty. Don't act like I'm serious with this, because I'm not.
What's crazy to me is, like, I feel like you can make an argument that if they would just fucking listen to him and stop arguing with him all the damn time, it actually would make the shit go smoother. Like, if they could try to think of ideas to help him rather than to try to stop him. Like, I think it's a difference between like yes and no but. They hitting him with a lot of no but, and he's running right through that because I got the big marble. I'm the motherfucking king.
Right.
So y'all gonna do what the fuck I tell y'all anyway. I'm the regent. I'm in charge until Aegon get back, and I'm not expecting him to be back anytime soon. So just do what the fuck I tell y'all to do.
Right.
But they keep being
right.
like,
he was like, I've been planning this for a very, very long time. Y'all, if y'all really, put like this, he was like, if y'all see my notebook of ideas and thoughts, y'all be like, goddamn.
And so this is why I say some of the episode I was a little like, with, is because it was a lot of repetition of stuff like this. It's like one person be like, nah, we can't trust the Triarchy. No, we not really trusting them. We doing this. Here come Allison. We shouldn't trust the Triarchy. Nigga, he just answered that. He like, your daddy wouldn't have trusted him. And he like, okay, well, all right then. And we still finna do what the fuck I told us to do.
What they got to do with me?
Right. And so so then Chrissy is like, well, I gotta have Allison's back on this, because I'm sorry. First, Allison says they can't trust the Triarchy. And Viserys knew this. And she says it in a dismissive way, like, fuck whatever Aemond just said. We not doing that. Which is interesting, because you're not in charge. So I don't know why she thought she could countermand him in a way that moved it off the table. But she tries to move it off the table. She goes, anyway, what about the messages we sent to the Greyjoys? And they was like, yeah, nobody answering them letters. And the Red Kraken, who I guess is the person that's in charge of the Greyjoy Navy right now, is like waiting to see who gonna really get the advantage before they weigh in.
Right, they like, we ain't jumping in the shit until we see a side. We're like, we ain't losing no people off of y'all bullshit.
Which is about time somebody said that.
Right, they was like, y'all fight it out and we'll join in whenever one side is winning.
And it makes sense that people would say that, especially if they weren't on land or easily reachable, because this is an infight that turned into an outfight.
Yes!
Like, y'all asking people to line up and pick sides, but some motherfuckers in the world gotta be like, y'all do that. Y'all fight. It
Right.
ain't my fault. So then Tylen proposes that maybe an offer of marriage to Alicent could sweeten the deal if they offer her hand to the Red Kraken. She says it's out of the question. He's like, alas. It kind of looks at BBL Chrissy a little bit at the table. And they do sit next to each other. And also, Chrissy backs Alicent's reticence to treaty with the Triarchy Navy, saying, look, we don't want to invite those people into waters that are close to King's Landing because we can't trust them. Fucking, we look up, next thing you know, they trying to attack us.
Right. And she looked like, now why am I in it? How did I get volunteered for some bullshit?
Which is funny because she want to be at that table, but she don't want to be part of that patriarchy. And that's a big tool in that patriarchy is like, hey, we got somebody we can make a treaty with by marrying your ass off. And she wants to have the ability to poo-poo that kind of stuff. But while also having a say over everything else. So it is interesting, and it just brings us back to Rhaenys when Niecy told her, you just want a prison with a bigger window on it. Like, you still working and toiling in the service of men. So then Aemond is like, man, fuck what BBL Chrissy talking about, okay? I'm ignoring your shit about it. You need to take your ass to Harrenhal. And Chrissy like, my nigga, when we attacked Rook's Rest and the dragon killed all these people because your ass was wilding. I mean, I'm not gonna say how much you was wilding in front of your mama, but you know what nigga, you know what happened. So we don't have enough men. Remember?
Did he do that? 900 people died or some wild
Yeah,
shit
like
that?
you sent the men out to get burned by the dragon to set the trap, and like we took Rook's Rest, but like it's fucked up. Your brother fucked up. The dragon fucked up. Like, what are you talking about right now? And Aemond was basically like, yeah, be that as it may, your ass is gonna march out there to Harrenhal.
You better work with what you got.
You march from your direction. Lannisters march from their direction, like I told them. Y'all gonna split Daemon's army's attention on both sides. Then I'm gonna fly out there, meet y'all to finish the battle. And if Daemon ain't scared to face me, then I'm gonna go and fuck his ass up too. And Larys is like, oh, that is so smart, my lord. You should do that. Yep. Because Larys know his ass ain't gotta go out there.
Right.
And I think low key, Larys is like, get Chrissy off the table.
Yes, because odds are you ain't gonna make it 2 times with all these fucking dragons fighting around you.
And just, even if he don't kill him, I just mean get him physically out of the building.
Yes.
Because Larys, I think, sees a lot of these things as opportunities to cozy up to power, to move up the rung. And I think he looks at like Chrissy, who's the hand of the king and the head of the military or whatever.
We've known them are 2 different positions. Right.
And now that Aemond is in charge, not Aegon, who he was easily manipulating Aegon. Like he was in his head. Aegon fully trusted him like a dummy. But he's not able to like move that way around Aemond because Aemon's a little too cunning and clever and also just very untrusting. Right. So I think he was thinking to himself like, yeah, get Chrissy out the building. Maybe I can find a way into your mind and end up you getting in your circle of trust. Because Chrissy is, for whatever you want to say, he's in Aemon's circle of trust as much as someone could be. I don't think Aemond trusts like that, but he respects Chrissy in a way that he doesn't respect the other people at that table.
No.
And so then Chrissy still objects, but because he's like, why can't we just wait on the High Tower army to join us? And Aemon's like, man, fuck all that shit. March your ass out there. And if y'all run into my uncle, I'm flying out there. I'm gonna fuck him up. I see we're all agreed. Meeting adjourned. Get the fuck out. Like it was not they were not all agreed, but he was basically like, nothing I said was countered by anything y'all said in any meaningful way. This was actually me telling y'all what y'all was finna do.
Yep.
And y'all thought it was a discussion. Go do what the fuck I told y'all to do.
Right. And also I love this actor's there's such a big contrast between him and his brother. Because at no period of time did he raise his voice, and then some period of times he actually talked softer.
Yeah,
like he actually whispered sometimes.
And he's been shadow running shit the whole time anyway. Even when Aegon was in charge, he was never really in charge. Like he took this shit over a couple weeks ago.
Yes, he did.
And so everyone goes to leave, and he says, excuse me, mama, I'm gonna need you to come back for an HR meeting real quick.
Right.
And he hit her with that classic Jocelyn Hernandez line, "Ho, why is you here?"
Come on, why is you here?
Because he's like, "What's your job at this point?" And she was like, "Well, I was on the council because I'm representing your father who when he was infirmed." And he's like, "Right, but he's dead now."
Right. What's your job?
And my brother is, that line.
Yes,
delivery, that line delivery, chef's kiss. But anyway, thank you for your service. You are no longer obliged. And she says, "I'm not doing it out of obligation. I'm trying to stop y'all from crashing out. Somebody needs to have a voice that's not just like war, war, war all the time." And he said, honestly, it's too many people that's fucking up the vibe with the not war, war, war shit. And she's like, well, you are impetuous and arrogant. And he said, "Get your ass back in the kitchen then. Okay?" And then he's like, "I'm trying to free you to do more domestic pursuits." And she's like, she walks over to him and caresses his face and looks at that scar on his face.
He is not his brother.
And she says, "Have the indignities of your childhood not been sufficiently avenged?" And I did like that line in that delivery. And I thought it was gonna cut him deep, but he literally pulled her hand away from his face slowly, not with any force, got up and left and says, "You have the gratitude of the crown," and left her there to sulk. And I said, she gonna cry in the carriage.
And it's also one of those things too. She didn't see him, but this is the same person who walked through a brothel butt ass naked with his dick hanging out. Do you think he cares about his mama giving him some lines when he literally, swung his dick in front of everybody and walked out like a champ? He was like, "Bitch, you ain't nobody, and no, you will not manipulate me like you did my goddamn brother. I'm not him."
There was great acting on both parts. He killed this scene, put it in his Emmy reel, and just Aemon's just such a good character, and you can see how he would be a good king. And I hate to say that because he's so petty and so vengeful, but he's so fucking smart. All the plans he had, I was like, that'll work. Like he hasn't put a plan out there yet where I'm like, well, that's just fucking dumb. All the plans, I'm like, I can see how that would work, but at any rate, meanwhile, we cut to a tavern. And Ulf, the White, that's the dude who said he was a bastard of the Targaryen line at the bar with that brother that had the good faces.
Yes.
And so he's in there getting some soup, sitting by himself. It's hard times in King's Landing.
Yeah, they were partying not too long ago.
Yeah, but now they ain't got much.
The party over.
But he ordering some soup.
Some broth.
It's never good when you order the broth at the bar, And the woman comes up, he's like, "Damn, this broth kind of thin, ain't it?" And the person that was serving it was Diana. Diana is, of course, the woman who used to work in the Red Keep. She was sexually assaulted by Aegon, was impregnated, drank the morning after tea. And then we saw her a couple episodes ago. She was working in that tavern. Aegon came in there. She served him a beer. He didn't even recognize her. Like, that's how fucked up he is. And of course, she must have no love for the Greens and everything that goes on in that keep. So Diana,
yeah, she was like, "Fuck y'all as a whole record label and a crew."
Right. Diana was also the person we saw meet with God, I'm drawing a blank on her name.
Yeah, with the one that Mysaria sit out.
With Rhaenyra's handmaiden that was sent into King's Landing to start doing Mysaria's bidding. And so we know something's afoot when Diana is there, and then we see the what do you call them? The woman that runs the whole house, I don't know her
The
name.
madam?
The madam, yeah. We see the madam. I was gonna say bottom bitch, but that's a pimp term. But we see the madam who runs the whorehouse. She's in there like she's a regular patron.
Yeah, I was like, ma'am, you know, I was looking like you do not belong here.
Listen, I'll recognize those titties anywhere.
Right. I was like, don't you think they gonna know you the madam of the whole house?
Once I've seen titties being suckled like that, there's no scene you could put her in I wouldn't know. But yeah, so she's in there and she's just pretending to be a patron. That doesn't mean everybody knows her. It also doesn't mean that, you know, hoes got to eat too, Karen.
Yeah, that's true.
So she's in there and they basically do a mini play.
Yes, they do. It was so good.
It was so good. Like Diana is in there and you know, she's like, oh, is this it? And then Diana's like, here's your ale. Would you have anything to eat with it? She's like, have anything to eat? I don't know if I can keep anything down. I'm so fucked up. And then Diana's like, makes you sick, doesn't it? And then the suckling woman is like, knowing they be down at the castle having banquets every night and we out here starving. And Diana like, girl, stop playing.
Just loud enough where everybody could hear.
Right. Everybody ear hustling. And then the suckling woman is like, yeah, child, some of my hoes went down to the keep to celebrate with Aemond just last night. He had extra cheese on the pizza and everything.
Yes. Told them they could supersize.
Right. He said, get extra honey mustards. And meanwhile, of course, everybody ear hustling because they hangry. And they just, you can see everybody facing there like, just
mad.
They in there eating good and we out here eating fish soup. And then she was like, yeah, girl, they was talking about they ate well and they paid well. I'm talking racks of lamb, mince pies, honey cakes, beef and gravy. They had the meats.
Yeah, yes, the meats.
And they partying tomorrow too. And so Ulf, he can't take it no more. He ain't even sitting at this table. He just, they just standing behind him saying this shit. He like, that ain't right. And she said, oh, my bad for speaking so loud. Let me hold it down because you know the royals find out I'm in here spilling the tea.
Yeah, that might be the end of me.
And Ulf is like, you know, Viserys used to love a good party, but he wasn't in there partying when everybody else was in the struggle. He'd be in it with us. He wasn't gonna throw no fucking feast while we was down bad. And she was like, yeah, but he gone. And his rightful heir has been denied her seat. So she let him know, I'm Team Rhaenyra.
Come on.
Oh, well, no use wondering about what might have been. And then she get up and leave. And Ulf was a Ray truther. Remember, before Aegon came in there and brought everybody around, he was like, Rhaenyra the real queen. I don't know what the fuck this bullshit is. So he ain't really on Team Aegon and them.
It should have ended by, this message is brought to you by Rhaenyra. We are not,
right.
you know.
Paid for by the Rhaenyra for president, for queen pack.
Yes, fun.
Yeah. It really should have been. They should have did. Aegon is eating the meats while the people starve. And in the streets, Hugh Hammer's wife, Kat, is trying to get some food, but she showed up just right after they ran out of food. I don't know if Keith Lee reviewed the spot or what, but they was out.
They was out. It was like a few more people. He was like, I don't got no more. We got sold out. I ain't got nothing else to give.
It was like pulling up the Bojangles at 9:45.
I think you gonna get some food. They was like, we ain't got no thighs. We ain't got no legs.
We ain't got no wings. We ain't got no beans. We ain't got no corn.
We ain't got no dirty rice. We ain't got no biscuits.
What do y'all have? We have napkins. We have straws. We have cups.
We got the boxes.
Right. You want a box? Empty box? We got empty boxes of air. So then Cat is in the streets like, let me get something. And buddy like, I'm out. We ain't got nothing. As they do this, a carriage of goats to feed Vhagar rides by paying people dust. And the people is upset.
Right. After they just heard that they was been in there partying.
Ulf is like, where's our meat? The dragons get meat. We want the meats. I want some meat. Where's Ring Rings when you need them? I thought we had the meats. He was so mad about that meat.
He was upset. What the hell is this?
Tired of this motherfucking broth. Give me some of that curried goat.
Right, this thin ass soup. Soup ain't supposed to be this thin.
So then we cut to the conference room, and they having a meeting, but now Allison's off the team. She ain't at the meeting. BBL Chrissy, he gone. He ain't at the meeting because he out riding the Harrenhal, which takes like a fortnight to get there. Master Orwell, the Lord DEI, is taking care of Aegon, so he's gonna come back in shortly. But at this table, it's just Aemond, Larys, and Tylan Lannister.
Yeah, everybody else is out.
Nothing but white men running everything, running things. And so they having a meeting, and they're trying to reach them. They like, hey man, so the small folk are restless and they mad because they ain't got no food. The blockade is working. He's like, why the fuck should I care? And this is where his cruelty can blind him.
Yeah, he was like, that actually matters. That you got to feed the people now.
Right. Because it's like, dog, you can't just ruling with an iron fist, only part of the job.
Right.
And so he just is like, look, once Tylan Lannister and his fleet break the blockade, it'll be fine. And they're like, nigga, everybody's gonna be hungry until that happens.
Right.
And
they want to eat now. They not trying to wait.
And they blaming you. And he like, why they mad at me? Rhaenyra the one doing the motherfucking blockade. They don't got shit to do with me. And Iron Rod's like, that's what happened when you in charge. You get blamed for shit sometimes that ain't your fault. Message.
Yes, you do.
And so then Larry says, well, I noticed you ain't named nobody hand yet, and you know you could always use an ally to advance your cause with shrewdness and subtlety. You know, Sir Kristen was really your brother's hand, but you ain't got a hand. And oh my God. Oh, why he say that? This motherfucker, Aemond, is so smart. He's so good. He said, do you take me for a fool? And Larry's like, oh shit, I've been spotted. No, your grace. And he says, I have little patience for the self-important and even less for flatterers and lickspittles. It does so happen that you are correct. I make it your responsibility. And Larys goes, oh, my prince, it is an honor. I never considered myself as... And he's like, not to serve as hand, you toad. He called this man a toad.
Yeah, he was like, not you.
A toad? Yo, y'all, you can't come back from that. And he said, go fetch Otto Hightower.
And when he said that, I looked at Roderick like, yes, he is not stupid. He knows he needs somebody that has a strategy and a plan. And he knows that he had enough sense to know that when Otto left, it was fucking chaos. They were unorganized. Nobody had a plan. Because Otto would come in and be like, get y'all shit together. And like, but like this, even if everybody wasn't in agreement, there was some balance. Right now, you know, his brother was there and got rid of him. It was no balance. Everybody was just doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
And he respects Otto because he says, my granddaddy may be overcautious, but his devotion to his family has never been in doubt. Larys, this hits on so many levels. The first level is this. Larys, who he's talking to, is definitely a traitor to his own family.
Yes!
Literally killed like people in his family.
Took the money
from the castle, left to go be in Kingsland. Okay. Number 2, Alicent told him, you need a cautious voice on the council. He don't want it to be her, but I think he understands the merit of having those voices. And then
because he's not crazy.
The third thing is the reason it can't be Alicent is because he feels like she gives too much aid and comfort to the enemy. He's the one who's like, it was always gonna be a war. You was pussyfooting around. Everything that bad that has really happened, that when we didn't expediently just take power like we were supposed to, and now we gotta fucking fight everybody for it, is because you were trying to find some in-between way to take power. If you're taking the throne, you're taking it. If you're not taking the throne, you don't take it. You can't halfway be a crook. You have to be all the way in.
Yes.
And so with her, like, and her shit with Rhaenyra and sending the ravens and sorry about your son, he's like, Get the fuck out of here. But he's not so stupid to be like, and I'm the only voice that matters. He's like, we should get Otto because he knows shit. And this is now the fourth thing. I'm sorry. This is now like the fourth or fifth time something's happened that Otto would have at least anticipated that no one on that council did.
Right.
The dragon head thing, the
out of the inexperience, out of them just not knowing.
Hanging the rat catchers, like
right. He would have been like, don't you dare bring that dragon head through the city. The people gonna think it's a bad omen. They gonna turn on the crown. You know, that's why he was so livid when he was like, I did all that goodwill and you hung the rat catchers, motherfucker. Everything I did meant nothing. The fuck is you doing, sir? Like, I understood his anger because he was like, you're dumb. You don't want to listen to nobody. Like, you're stupid. And it's like, if you want to be king, be king. You can't just be all willy-nilly and just doing all this shit and then just put like this. He wanted to praise, but he didn't want to do the work, and he didn't want to listen to nobody. He just was like, if I do something, y'all just gonna praise me. And people don't work like that. And Otto has been under these three kings, so he knows mostly how the people work.
Yeah, I just think Otto sees the game a little bit broader than even he can. He just sees angles, and he's not afraid to tell you. And they lost something when they lost Otto and his knowledge. And Alicent, for all her, she's no Otto still.
Yeah,
even though she does understand things on a different level, she's no Otto.
Right, and also this goes back to what BBL Chrissy told her when she wanted to come up there and act the fool, talking about how dare you turn your back on me. He was like, bitch, do you know we at war? And the decisions we got to make, everybody in the room know that you are not going to want to make the decisions. These hard, we got to fuck them up decisions. You going to be milly mouth in, you going to be pussyfoot in, you going to be playing around and slowing the process down. And people going to be like, no, decisions have got to be made. And we can't stand by here with you sending another goddamn raven.
So then what I also love about this scene is after he tells him, go fetch Lord Otto Hightower for me, you bitch. Larry says, and this is great acting choice, great delivery. The way he says your grace is almost like the breath was taken out of his lungs. He's like, your grace. Like it was like he got punched in the stomach. He's like, your grace. And so Lord DEI enters with an update. Aegon doing way better, and he might live. He breathing on his own, or breathing better. And Aemond looks blown. He's holding that little motherfucking ball, the king ball, fidget spinner thing, and he's like, "This the only thing that can ruin my plans if this motherfucker is actually okay." Also, if he's okay, does he remember I tried to kill him?
Right. So
of course, being a man of action, he's like, "Let me go check on his ass." Right the fuck now. So he goes into Aegon's room where we see the sisters or the nurses. Oh no, Meisters. It was Meisters at this time, changing the lettuce on his wounds.
and making some new lettuce wraps around him.
Right. Let us pray. And so they're changing the lettuce on his wounds. Like, girl, hand me that BLT. I'm gonna try to change his bandages. And Aemond comes in like Tupac when he popped up on GQ at the motherfucking locker room. It was real. It was menacing the way he came. He was like, everyone give me the room. I want to talk to my brother.
Crazy, man. You know what? When you said that last time, I was kind of tripping, right? But now, you're right. I am crazy. But you know what else? I don't give a fuck.
That was the vibe of this whole scene. He rolled up on this boy and said, hey, what do you remember about when you got fucked up? And Aegon's like, nothing. And Aegon is in extreme pain. He just wants his motherfucking milk of the poppy and to go back to sleep. And Aemond leans over him, takes that fucking ball that's the fidget spinner, and pushes it into his burn wounds.
Yes, and you know it gotta be painful.
and he leans over him,
just touching him, and I know his skin is probably screaming.
And he means to do it. This is not an accident. He knows he's in pain. This is more of a threat. And he says, "You challenged Meleese. It was foolish." And then Aegon just says, he's like, by the way, shout out to this actor. He was killing it this week. He's like, I remember nothing.
I ain't hear shit. I ain't see shit. I don't know nothing.
Then Aemond leans over him, touches his burned side of his fucking head where the bandages are, and then kisses him on his head. And Lord DEI enters and interrupts this fucking torture. And Aemond goes to leave, but first he tells Lord DEI, Aegon gonna have a long recovery, right? And he leaves the fidget spinner there, and Lord DEI is like, my name is Bennett.
I guess it is gonna be a long recovery then.
A lot of people don't know my real name is Bennett Orwell. Grand Lord Meister Bennett Orwell. I'm not in it at all, and no way. Matter of fact, my name is Paul Bennett Orwell. My name is Paul. That's between y'all.
Come on.
My middle name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Nope, I am not.
And my last name is Orwell. I'll see y'all after a while because I don't have nothing to do with this shit. But the reason I want to bring up Aemond and Daemon to me are like two sides of the same coin.
Yes. And
so this scene of him kissing his brother on the forehead, but it was in the most menacing, threatening fashion. Yeah. And at the same time, we got that dream of Daemon kissing his brother on the forehead,
but it was
as a matter of love, compassion, and actually giving in to like the forgiveness of it.
Yes.
Taking that character almost like full circle, and then he has this amazing breakthrough when he wakes up. So I don't know, it just something about that was like a very poetic yin and yang. So I am still surprised that Aemond did not put a pillow over that boy's head. That a pillow coming. The pillow is coming.
Oh, he gonna take him out.
Y'all might want to put security over him.
24/7. Somebody stand at the bed.
Right. Meanwhile, back in the rough streets of King's Landing.
The rough streets of King's Landing.
It's bad.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city.
The poor people is on the beach and they see some boats washing ashore, and it's full of food. And they're all flying the red dragon banner of Rhaenyra.
You know what? Them banners might have. I seen somebody in the chat room say this. Them banners might have said, "Rhaenyra 2024, vote for me."
Right. Listen, and when they motherfucking pull back the blanket to show the fruits in there, them fruits was in Technicolor.
Oh, wasn't they bright and pretty? They wasn't all molded. And then they did they because it was just one boat. I was like, oh, and then they expanded out, and I was like, oh,
yeah, it's just boats as far as the horizon can see. These starving people end up being fed not by their own king, not by the actions of Aemond, but by Rhaenyra, who, I mean, you should hate because she's the one that did the blockade, but they've been treating y'all so bad in there, hanging rat catchers and locking y'all indoors, that it's like, nah, she the real one. We love her now.
She said, the food, what is you giving us?
And then we go back inside. Alicent watches over Aegon the way she used to watch over Viserys. A very poetic moment. Lord DEI enters and tells her it's going to be a long struggle for Aegon because now he's sleeping 9 out of every 10 hours. And she asked him, what will he be if he lives? And Lord DEI said, that ain't my business.
Nobody knows.
He went to go leave. But when he said Aegon sleeping 9 out of 10 hours, that made me think when Aemond told him it's going to be a long recovery, he said, let me drug this fool. He finna sleep all day, every day. And then she asked Lord DEI, what about the ravens that I sent to my father? Any word back? And he's like, nah, he ain't sent nothing back yet. And he also told her, like, now it is a war going on about more than just us and Rhaenyra and them. Because remember when they killed Lord Beesbury last year, when Sir Criston killed that dude at the table with his fucking fidget spinner ball.
Yes.
And so he killed him because they were trying to usurp the throne and he wasn't with the shits, and they was like, okay, then die. Well, Lord Beesbury got peoples, and his peoples don't like that they killed him.
Right.
So they fighting Otto Hightower's army right now. And so
that nigga busy.
Lord D.I. basically said, your daddy might be in a war. I don't know. So if you ain't heard back from him,
That's probably why.
Could be that. And I love when little shit like this matters on the show, because that was like a scene that most shows would be like, oh, it just shows how evil Sir Kristen is. But I'm like, there would be consequences. That dude was somebody.
Right, he wouldn't know. He was on that council for a reason, and you just can't tell people, your daddy, uncle, cousin, member of your family died. They're gonna want to know why, and then we're gonna know is it justified.
So she holds Aegon's hand as he sleeps, and she says, "I'm sorry" to him, but he sleep, and so I don't know if he heard it.
Right.
Then she goes and stands outside feeling useless. She goes downstairs, and it looks like maybe she's going to see Sir Kristen, but she ends up talking to her brother Gwaine, he clocks her looking at Chrissy, but he just comes up and says like, well, basically, what you doing down there? And she was like, oh, I came to give you my blessing. And have you heard from our dad? So maybe she did come for that. But Gwaine was like, now, you this favorite. He don't talk to me really.
Right.
If he had some news, he would send it. He's very cunning. He'll be fine. He'll send us news when there's news to send.
And I was like, your daddy.
Right.
And he probably got that shit going, fuck y'all, I'm busy. Nothing's happening. I'm not going to, why am I reaching out just to fucking reach out?
Also, Gwaine's relationship with Otto Hightower would not be as close because Gwaine was raised in Old Town as the eldest son. So he did not go to King's Landing to court the way Allison went.
Right.
So I think he's probably had a long distance relationship with his daddy the whole time. So he's like, if something was wrong, we'd know, but nothing's wrong. So it's nothing to like, not talking to him, not knowing what's going on is not a big deal.
Right.
So at least to Gwaine. She also then asked like, what about my other son, Darren? Now, Darren, we have never seen on the show. Apparently she had a kid at some point, sent the kid off to Old Town to be raised by her folks. He also has a dragon. He's 16, and he's like, well, don't y'all write letters to each other? She's like, he write less and less the older you get. And so I think Gwaine sees what she's after here and just wants to tell her like, look, he's 16, he's clever, he's good with a lute and a sword, and he got mad hoes. But mostly he's kind. And she's like, unlike the sons that I raised here at the Red Keep. And he blames the Red Keep, like maybe just being raised around all this bullshit made your sons bad,
Right.
And she's like, yeah, but was it that, or is it that I'm a bad mama? And he's like, I'm sure you did your best. And all I heard was, bless your heart.
What you had, yeah.
Bless your heart. Hey, you know what? Couldn't be me. Like, he said, I'm sure you did your best. Then he's like, well, I gotta go. We going to take Harrenhal. Bye.
I'll let you later.
So then she goes back upstairs to see Helena in her room. She playing with bugs. And she's like upset because one of the bugs stopped singing. And Allison is like, girl, get dressed. We going to church.
I'm surprised she went. I thought she was going to tell her, bitch, I ain't going with you.
Helena? Yeah.
Yeah, because she like, I don't like to be out there with the people. I done told you that.
She's like, we're going to send up a prayer for Aegon, and then we're going to send up a prayer for the other people we lost, because I don't think she even prepared to say Jaehaerys.
And my thing, why is she still doing that shit?
Going to church.
Yeah, because last time she was up in there, she got ambushed by Rhaenyra. Like, right. Child, ain't you learned to stay your ass in the kingdom?
Right. Like, this King's Landing is not a good place. It's not very nice, okay?
The ghetto.
So they go in the streets. First of all, we see Hugh Hammer find Cheese's dog in the streets before seeing that everyone's running around with free food. Now, I don't know if he was going to eat that dog or if he was going to take care of that dog, but they had a little moment together. And the people got free food from the boats that Rhaenyra sent.
They running into the city. Free food.
Yeah. It was like Walmart when it opened up Thursday before on Thursday at 8 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, they was like, Rhaenyra 2024, Rhaenyra 2024. We love the princess.
They're like, y'all, they got half off 4K TVs on the boats.
Right.
I'm gonna kill an old lady for one.
Knock out.
So they carrying the banners and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh robs a dude. Now it's interesting because Kat, his wife, was concerned about how their neighbors were hoarding stuff and people were robbing each other and it was getting violent. We need to get out the city. And Hugh was like, it's not gonna be that bad. The king gonna pay us. And now Hugh, fast forward, he robbing people. He ganked the dude for his food.
Because ain't nothing out there. Because his wife basically came home with nothing. He's like, we got to eat. Shit.
And his baby sick.
Right.
Baby gotta eat.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's down so bad he robbing people. And we cut to the sept. Alicent and Helena in there. They praying, burning candles. The knights step in there. They like, we gotta shake the spot.
We got to leave.
The unruly crowd is they not ruly no more. They unruly.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get the fuck up out of here. And so they like, all right, let's go, girl. And King's Landing, only in fucking King's Landing, guys. These motherfuckers just got some food. They been starving. They throw food on fucking Alicent, called her the queen of fishes, and threw some fucking food on her. I'm like, nigga, you just got them pears.
Don't you want to eat this?
What? Oh,
Fucker, do your ghetto antics know no bounds?
good grief.
You still gonna be hungry?
What is wrong with y'all? I hate y'all.
Ain't that the worst?
That's why I was okay when D burned y'all shit down. Anyway, so they throwing shit at her. They threw some shit on Helena too. And the part of the problem is this. The homeboy King's Guard is part of their protection unit.
Yes, and they not properly trained.
Remember, it's just Aegon's homies that he drinks with. It's his drinking buddies.
Yep, they didn't have to go.
They highborn. They're not fucking trained. They're not real white cloaks. They didn't take the oath. They don't know shit.
Right. They don't know how to interact with the people.
So they nepo hires, and they don't know how to like the people that was real guards, like, check the corners. They like, what's the corners?
Right. They was like, we need to do security. What is we doing here? They calling out numbers and codes and shit. They was like, what is we doing?
Next week will be a hearing on Capitol Hill with the Secret Service director.
Yes.
On this show.
And be like, why the fuck was they there? And
right.
how did the shooter get to that spot?
How did the person with the pear that threw the tomatoes, how he get on the roof?
How he get on the roof?
He was up there for 30 minutes.
People pointing them out and y'all didn't do shit.
Right. So Alicent falls. Helena gets separated, pushed up against a wall for a second. Mm-hmm. They're able to like get them grouped up back together. They help Alicent up. But one dude who seemed like he was actually a fan of hers was like, my queen, and tries to help her up. One of the Keystone cops cuts his motherfucking hand off.
Like, let her go. I was like, what?
Which of course incenses the already riotous crowd.
Yeah. Yes. And she had to turn around. The Alicent had to turn around and say, "Put your swords away." Like, you do know it's more them than us. If you fucking attack them, we all are going to die. What is wrong with you?
So then the crowd attacks the guard who cut the hand off.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started attacking the other guards. Now it's all they can do to just keep the crowd off of Alicent and Helena.
Right.
None of Aegon's homie crew makes it back to the carriage. I don't know if they lived or died, but them niggas ain't make it back. I'm assuming they dead.
And me too. Now unless we see them later on fucked up.
Once we get in the carriage, we see Alicent and Helena. Alicent got cut on her arm, maybe by that sword that cut off the hand.
That's
I don't
what
know.
I was thinking.
And then Helena is just freaking out. And outside, we hear everybody yelling, "Long live Queen Rhaenyra."
Mm-hmm. And I know Helena is looking at her, bitch, I'm never going outside with you no more.
Every time she go outside.
Yes, I told you I didn't want to go outside the first time. You made me go. I had an anxiety attack. I go out here with you this time. Now we fucking getting attacked. I am never leaving this building again.
Aegon is visited by Larys this time. And he's about to get some more milk of the poppy. And he really want that shit. He like, poppy me up, baby.
Mm-hmm, he in pain.
And apparently Larys is like, don't give him no drugs. And the nurse is like, I was instructed by Master Orwell to give him some drugs. And Laris is like, give it to him in an hour. I need to talk to him. I need to give him some real talk. And he says, look, Aegon, the word on the street is gonna be you the legendary king who survived the dragon fire. But let me tell you right now, player, you ain't never finna be whole again. Okay? Your running days is done. Master Orwell done did the best he can do, but they basically done had to bind your leg up. All you got left now is your mind, and I don't say that gladly. Okay? You like me now. I was born, I had a deformed foot. My father was like, it must be sorcery. He was fucking accusing everybody of doing spells and shit in the house. And that tells you already the motherfucking hate that you're going to be experiencing in this world. People going to look at you with pity, either behind your back or in your presence, and they going to stare at you, or they going to turn away. Aegon, shout out to this actor, he was crying his ass off between them sobs and them chest heaves and the hard breathing and the pain.
Yes.
And I know he wanted them drugs so bad, but it was this is just great acting, because my heart did go out to him in a bit, and that's really good acting, because I hate this character.
Yes.
But what he's gone through, I'm like, Jesus, man, who wants to live through this? This is a horrible thing to have to experience.
Yes, it is.
And he says, Laris goes, and they will underestimate you, and this will be your advantage. Your brother rules in your place now, which means your life is in danger, but I think you know that. And Aegon asks Laris, help me. And Laris absolutely will help this dude, because Aegon is his only route to power. He's the rightful heir to the throne according to the Greens. When he's healthy enough, his brother has to abdicate the throne. And Laris, I think Laris absolutely, he'd poison Aemond if he could to get Aegon back on that fucking throne. Because I think Laris is like, Aemond sees through my bullshit.
Yes, and he's not falling for none of my tricks. I can't smooth talk him. And he was like, nigga, not you.
Well, it's dangerous because you're full of shit.
Right.
So you can't have somebody that see through your shit on the council, because you ain't got nothing else to you. So like, yeah, Laris, I think we just watched an alliance be formed that could be very destructive. I wonder what he was willing to do to get Aegon back on that throne. That,
and also I could see Aemond actually turning around and kicking him off the council, going, I don't need no Lord of Whispers.
If he can get Aegon back on the throne,
he'll
get back on the council.
Right.
Like, I just think what he must be, this motherfucker killed his brother and daddy. What he's willing to do,
took all the money and left town.
Because that's one thing. Look, you could have hands, you could be the most strong-fisted ruler in the world. If motherfucking Laris decides you dead, I think he can kill you in some ways that nobody even see coming. And if that could be the one way to get Aemond off the throne. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. All right, Dragonstone. Corlys walks around the war table studying shit. He's wearing a handpin on his chest. It's a real cool scene. He stands by Rhaenyra's spot at the table for a while. And then everyone files in. Coming in last is Rhae. And she stands at the head of the table next to him. She looks over, sees he's wearing the pin. He's got her back.
And do a head nod.
All of a sudden, the meeting is organized. You know, and it's like, all she needed was a male vice president. Message.
All right, message.
But I also think it's the fact that Lord Broom wasn't in attendance, and you know he be hating on everything. So
yes, he does. Because she sent him off.
Yeah, to go to Harrenhal.
Yes, she did.
So he wasn't there to be like, oh my God, who lit these candles on the table? Jesus Christ, we gonna lose. So then they bring in Sir Stefan Darkling.
Fussing about how everybody too old.
So then they bring in Sir Stefan Darkling in full armor. And he like, what's going on, everybody? Why are we standing around all weird? And she's like, so you know how we down bad. Niecy and her dragon, they dead. Daemon and Harrenhal, we don't know if this nigga still down.
We don't know if he's for or against.
I got more dragons than riders, but we need to get some dragon riders. He's like, but you ain't got no more family. And why don't you just have Rhaenyra do it? And they like, Rhaenyra tried, she almost died. We can't have her do it.
Right.
You want to try a dragon out? And he's like, pretty sure I don't have a credit score for that. And she's like, no, I did the ancestry.com score, and turns out your people, my people used to smang back in the day. Your grandmama Ariana was a Targaryen princess, so you got some of our blood in you. And before she can even finish that, he like, I'm down, I want a dragon, let's go. She like, you could die. To ride a dragon, you have to be willing to die.
Yes, you do know this might not go smoothly.
No one's ever attempted this shit before. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I want a dragon. Whatever it takes to get a dragon and to help, I'm doing. I'm standing on business. Now I'm assuming that this motherfucker really want this dragon, so he want revenge because they killed his daddy, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he got a lot of reasons to want a dragon, not just the like flex of it, but practically, and it's the best way to help out. So they go down to the dragon parking lot, and the dragon handlers sing a song in High Valyrian, which is supposed to coax sea smoke over to them. So they just up there like, wade in the water, but in High Valyrian.
Yeah, you can hear sea smoke coming up.
Yes, yeah. Sea smoke approaches, and Stefan, I knew this nigga was toast because because the first thing he did was grab his sword. Hey man, hey.
Yeah, you realize that too. I was like, if you trying to ride it, why are you grabbing your sword?
What you about to do with that little shit anyway? Like, you can't kill the dragon with the sword. Put the fucking sword down. What you doing? You're looking scary. You're acting scary. Now, he did do this before the dragon saw him do it. So I was like, boy, you lucky the dragon didn't see you do that shit, because that's instant flambe.
Yes, it is.
What the fuck is wrong with you? But he got a hold of himself, and it's easier said than done. I'm sure if it was a big ass dragon, I would have did it. But he calmed himself down, and the dragon tamers are all around him, singing a song, talking in High Valyrian. They got their little dragon stick like things out.
And they all lit up.
Yeah, and they got torches and stuff, and they telling it to calm down in High Valyrian and shit. And he's telling it to listen to him in High Valyrian. But honestly, it sounded real Duolingo, y'all.
Yes.
It sounded real high school Spanish. Like it didn't have none of that.
It was the basic.
And have no stank on that Dohaeris. He was like, sea smoke. Dohaeris, sea smoke.
Yes. Como esta, sea smoke.
Right. It was real. Donde es biblioteca?
Yes, that's how that shit sound.
I said, this nigga
Buenos dias, sea smoke.
This nigga is dead.
He is toast.
The boy still look like playing food to me. The boy sure look like playing food to me.
Yes, I was like, oh, he about to die.
So he was instructed by, of course, like everyone, like, yo, don't show fear.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra trying to backseat coach him, like, hey, don't be scared.
Yeah, calm down. Have some confidence.
So he said, Dohaeris, which is listen. And then Sea Smoke lowered his neck. And so he started walking towards the saddle, because it lowers his neck, lowers his saddle. You can hop right onto the saddle. So he started walking. And then, I don't know why he did it. I guess he didn't trust himself. But instead of just walking to hop on the motherfucking saddle, he stopped and he looked the goddamn dragon in the motherfucking eyes. Now, I don't know the rules, but I just know when he looked that dragon in the eyes, I don't know if like a little pee came out or what, but the dragon sensed something. And he loosened his posture, relaxing himself. And he said in motherfucking English, not Valyrian.
In English.
I've done it. I said,
oh no. That dragon was like, I don't understand you. What you just say?
The confidence of a mediocre white man.
Yes.
And right then, Sea Smoke looked at this man and said, anybody ever tell you kind of look like a Ninja Turtle? And popped the balloon on his ass.
It was like, oh.
It popped that motherfucking balloon. He was like, but I'm a plumber. It was like, well, your ass a chimney today because you on fire. And it burned him up and two innocent dragon handlers.
Yeah, the two dragon handlers. They was like, I gotta die because you don't know how to speak the language.
Right. They was just chilling. There's no reason for them to even be involved in this man's chicanery. If he wouldn't have been scared, they'd be alive.
Now why am I in it?
So they get fucked up.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they trained to do this, Cause when they was on fire, one of them cut their own throat. I was like, oh, they probably are trained. Like if the dragon turns on them,
I was like,
that's what you do. Oh no! Yeah, yes. Oh no!
Yeah. So then they fucked him. They fucked Sir Darkly. He was a nice guy too.
He was real nice.
You really hate to see it. He was like a real dude. But I said last week when we was talking about this shit, I said, someone's dying.
Yeah, somebody getting flamed.
You don't have How to Train Your Dragon trials on this show and everybody make it.
No.
Who want to see that? Someone got to die. I knew he was dead when he walked in that meeting and was like, what are we talking about? Death, nigga, yours. So he ended up getting fucked up. And they all ran into the castle and shit, and that was just I guess you could say that the plan went up in sea smoke.
Yes, it did.
That was the best. I haven't seen a roast that good since Tom Brady.
Oh no.
So then later on, Ray's walking through the hallway, and Lord Celtigar is trailing behind her, and now he complaining like he Alfred Broom, and he just all walking like 3 steps behind her, just complaining,
ragging her
the whole fucking time, just like, oh, you know what, I tried to tell you, you know what I'm saying, sea smoke flew away, Stefan ain't got smoked, it's regrettable, but I told you so, I knew it. Mill was at the meeting, and I was like, I don't know about this, you know what we need to do, make a treaty with Lord Mooten and watch on Rook's Rest. That's what I said. You know, it's not flashy as a dragon, but you know what I'm saying, sometimes you just gotta go traditional route. You know, I don't have a lot of soldiers over there, but you know what I'm saying, we still might take Rook Rest. And she turned around and said, what did the 5 fingers say to the face, and slapped the shit out of his ass.
She was like, I just sent one of you complaining ass niggas to Harrenhal. Shut the fuck up.
She was like,
oh girl, baby girl.
Slapped the shit out of his ass. I was so glad.
And it was hilarious because it just literally came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, I could see just the frustration to just shut the fuck up.
Cause like, I hate her counsel because these for Allison, I don't give a fuck because Allison's not in charge.
Right.
I mean, no offense to Allison or whatever, but you're not in charge. You fought all this way to not be in charge. Your whole thing was, I'll be the mother to the person that is in charge. So when she get punked, it's like, yeah, okay, you kind of knew this had to be coming. You're 53%. You're a white lady that lost the right to abortion after voting Republican. I can't be but so fucking like sympathetic to your ass.
Right.
But Rhaenyra is fighting to be in charge. They supposed to be looking up to her. Yet every time we go to the motherfucking council, these niggas are hating on her. And I guarantee you, when she don't be in that room, they be just like this.
Like, women's should worship me. You feel me?
Wow.
Like, man eat steak, pork, chitlin. Woman eat salad. That's just what it is. I want to watch football game, eat food. Women, they supposed to be loving us. You feel what I'm saying? Man,
are you married by chance?
Nah, man, I ain't never had a girlfriend.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is the reason why I haven't had one is because women's be tripping.
That's basically her counsel. I hate these niggas.
I hate them. They're terrible.
Corliss might be the only one that's kind of in formation. I don't trust him either. I feel like they won argument from him saying some wild shit.
Right.
So she slaps him and says, it's my fault, really. You done forgot to be scared of me. And she slapped him in front of some people. Like, the help saw it. So you know they talking.
You right?
So she goes into her room. She picks up a sword, which, you know, is very symbolic of how she's not allowed to be in this man's world. She never learned how to fight, but she's kind of a warrior and kind of in this war and fighting this battle, wearing a dress and holding a sword that she's not been trained to use. Mysaria comes in and she backs her. She's like, look, it was a good try. Stefan died, but that don't mean nothing. And Ray blames herself. She's like, I was reckless. It was a bad idea. I fucked up. Mysaria's like, just try it with some other, it's more people. Just throw people at the problem.
Yes, a lot of people.
Yeah, it's other highborn nobles on your side. And she's like, yeah, but who won't want to try it after what happened to Stefan? And you hear, like, when she says that, you hear a dragon grumble in the distance, probably from underneath the thing. Mm-hmm. But Ray says, I'm going to keep looking. we gonna hit the 23andMe. We gonna figure it out. And Masaria's like, I got some good news. That Russian misinformation is catching on, y'all. They think Kamala a cop. I did it. Okay.
They falling for the trick.
Right. So the small folk is hungry. They angry. They looking for someone to blame. I gave them someone to blame. It's soon the people gonna rise up. And Ray's like, how long that's gonna take? She's like, soon. Like, it's kindling like now, but we could light the fire tonight. And so Rhaenyra's like, yeah, but when you light that fire, Aemond just gonna crush it with like an iron fist. And Masara's like, and then the rebellion's gonna rise even higher.
Yeah, because they're not gonna just let him do that.
Right. So and Ray's like, yeah, but they can't overthrow him. Masara's like, it don't matter. He gonna have to fight. It's hard to fight a war when you trying to manage peace in your home.
Right. Fighting more inside and outside.
Right. I mean, she's absolutely right. Like, I love the way she thinks, because she's always like a step ahead of everybody with her.
Message.
You know. But yeah, so Masaria's like, we got him. You know what I'm saying? We got him where we want him. And so Ray was like, all right then, execute the plan. Basically, light that fire, turn that kindling into a fire. And Masaria says, by the way, you looking kind of good with that sword in your hand and that dress. And Ray took the sword and put it down. But it was a compliment. She said that was a very becoming look. So then Jace comes in to visit Ray.
It was, and it's one of those things where I don't know the future, but I could see her having somebody train her, like to actually fight with a sword at some period of time.
That would be interesting, because Game of Thrones is such an interesting show in that I don't think it would be interesting to see them try that, but this show does not give me you haven't been a warrior, but you get some training and now you can be a warrior, unless it's arduous. The only person we've really seen it happen with is Arya. And the amount of shit Arya had to go through to be good at, to be capable of
seasons.
Yeah. And I don't know if the show would take her through all that. I think the dragons are really their thing. Even Niecy, we never saw Niecy use a sword to fight people.
No.
The women we've seen fight are like Brienne of Tarth, who's big as hell.
Yeah, and probably been training since they were
So I don't know if a highborn person that wasn't trained to fight could just like turn it on, but you know, I'd love to be surprised by the show if they're gonna take that angle. But there's something about it where I was like, it is a cool look, but that's not. It's too late in her life for that to be an option for her to like really fight her battles with a sword. But I could be wrong. That's just my thinking. All right, so Jace comes up, questions. She's chilling outside. Rhaenyra's chilling. Her son comes up. He's like, hey, so I heard what had happened. You know, that was hey, look, you tried it with Stefan Darkling. That was a good attempt. I heard you slap Celtigar.
the house is buzzing. Everybody talking about that slap.
He's like, what?
Slap her around the castle.
You say, what did he say to you, mama? And she was like, he lucky I ain't have his tongue. And he said, well, what was this, like a certain thing? She said, I'm just tired of motherfuckers not respecting me because I'm a woman. And she was like, when the men look at me, they see their mothers, their daughters, their wives, and they don't see a person they supposed to respect. And he says, well, my ruler is my mother. And he's like, but what you gonna do? You gonna go into battle yourself? She's like, if I have to, that might be all I got left. She said, I did order them to march on Rook's Rest, which is what Celtigar asked her to do before she slapped him. And right when he's like, you know what you need to do is get Daemon. And she's like, Daemon, I'm tired of y'all talking about Daemon.
Yeah, she tired of that shit.
Now, I think she's low-key in denial, but because he is the other motherfucker with the dragon and y'all are married, it's a reason people keep asking you why you not fucking with him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she's like, I'm tired of this shit, man. Like, respect me as queen by myself or not at all. Masaria interrupts it, says, hey, our gift worked. Mm-hmm. The food was delivered. I got the
Word get around fast with her, boy.
I got the email from Amazon.
A package was delivered.
Package was delivered. Sent a picture of the boats on the beach.
So we know it got there.
And this is when Ray is later in her room and shit. So Ray is like, I don't even know we can win the war. Even Jace was questioning me what I'm gonna do without Daemon. And Masara's like, Daemon just be doing what he want to do. And Ray's like, yeah, but I always wanted to be like Daemon, carefree, brash, a man, do what the fuck I want to do. And Daemon always wanted to be like me, loved by my father, heir to the throne. And somehow together we made like a whole piece, like a whole ruler. But he was never at peace. He wanted to own me, not be owned by me. And I fear what he may do now, because he might have just turned all the way against me now. And Masara's like, more than likely he just ran the fuck off and disappeared, because he like doing that too. And Ray's like, even that's a L for me either way,
because I need him here.
Yeah. Which has always been interesting, because I feel like her and Daemon sharing power would be something new and bold and different and kind of fix a lot of the problems, but I don't think they ever will share power. I mean, they would need to sit down and figure that one out.
Have a conversation, right?
Ray runs down all the losses they've taken. No Daemon, no dragon for him, no Niecy, no dragon for her. Masara's like, well, you got the Navy, Corlys and them. And Ray is like, yeah, but even if one, that's not enough, but even if somehow we were able to prevail, how can I rule over all the kingdom when my own son doubts me? And Masara says, well, you have me. And Ray says, you have my thanks truly. Masara then tells Ray how she got the scar on her neck. It's a very harrowing story. She was sexually assaulted by her father, her own father, over many months until she was impregnated by him. He then tried to kill her and her unborn child. She can no longer have children. He left her for dead, but she somehow survived. And from that moment on, she decided, I would never trust another person on this earth. And she said, because this earth is shitty and there are very few people that are trustworthy, but you one of them. And I believe in you, and I believe you should be the queen. And Ray hugs her, but then the hug started lasting a little too long.
A little bit too long, didn't it?
It was one of those hugs where I was like, man, this hug is, what is this scene trying to prove? And then they started kissing. Now the question I have is, y'all still think eating coochie in the medieval times is crazy or not? I don't know. Do y'all feel the same way when it's two women? I know how y'all felt when it was BBL Chrissy. Now I didn't agree with y'all. I feel like, in that house, they be taking baths
every day. She takes a bath every day.
Yeah, that's the top. Like, other people bathe them. That's the top notch of this time. That is AAA plus what they doing over there. But I know a lot of y'all was like, it don't matter, I wouldn't do it. If it's two women, is it okay, or they got no lesbians in medieval times? I just need to know what y'all thinking. I don't know if they had the strap back then or not.
I don't know.
But yeah, so then
ye old dildo.
It did make me think, though, maybe I was wrong in season 1 when people wrote in and said Ray and Alicent could have been like a romantic thing, not just friendship.
It's a possibility they could have.
Now that they've done this with the characters, and I don't know if this is something that they changed after how people read season 1 as a show, and they said, "Oh, we should use that element," or if it's something they just decided to do this season and they hadn't thought a big plan for it. Whatever it was, shout out to them. I think it's like a cool twist with the character. I've also seen that some people don't like this twist and they feel like it's too typical and all this stuff. I don't know what to say for the people that are like, why they got to have romance in this. It wasn't graphic, number one. Number 2, I don't necessarily think it reduces either character. I think it makes them a little bit more complicated and complex. It's definitely says something about the patriarchal society they're living in, the lack of respect that they ultimately get from all the men around them, and all of that stuff. It makes me wonder about Alicent too. Also, we know this patriarchal thing puts them in this very heteronormative relationship structure to pass on power. You can't be a gay queen. You have to procreate with a man and probably somebody in your fucking family. So it's not like a lot of choice here. So it does kind of complicate those characters for me. But at the same time, I understand some people just don't like it as a trope or whatever. And then the last thing I'll say is this was not graphic. So like this didn't feel sensationalistic of like, oh, we're going to have a very hot sex scene right now to sex this thing up for provocation. To be provocative. They didn't provocation. Is that a word?
I don't know.
To provoke people. It was very much like it was cool. Like it didn't. I don't know. It was like surprising, but not in a way that made me go gross. But other people may feel differently. And I'm not even saying that because it's two women and I'm like so hot. That's not what I'm talking about. I just thought it was genuinely interesting to these characters. What'd you think about it?
Oh, it didn't bother me at all. I didn't see it turning in that direction. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. And for me, I was fine with it.
Right. Okay.
Because this is the thing, Rhaenyra's husband was gay, and had a whole ass partner.
Yeah, I just find some people didn't like it and I thought that was interesting. I'm not arguing with them, but I was just like, it didn't bother me. But anyway, so someone comes in and interrupts them without knocking, which ain't that the queen room? But dude just busted in and they had to pretend like they wasn't making out. I'm sure he didn't see nothing, but it was like a close call. And he's like, hey girl, somebody on Sea Smoke. And he got a rider, but nobody could tell who it is from the ground. And she was like, who the fuck could it be? And Masaria's like, maybe it's somebody from the Greens. But Ray's like, and they like, you want to go down and talk to the council about it? And she's like, nope. Go to the parking lot, walks through the ashes of Stephen Darkland.
Her son come out and all he sees is the back bumper of her dragon flying away.
Right. She flew off on him and just went to go find out who on this dragon. Which leads us to the very last thing. Now this one is shorter. Driftmark. And it has to go this way for the story. So Alan, Corlys is one of his bastards, the bald-headed one. He's approached by Corlys, who's happy that his ship is almost ready to sail. And Alan's like, yeah, the blockade gonna be challenged by the Lannisters or the Greyjoys. And, Corlys's men, they gonna be happy to see you among them. And Corlys is like, yep. And I'll be happy to have you sail with me as my first mate. And Alan's like, do I have to do that?
Right. You sure?
And Corlys is like, yeah, you're a fine choice. You saved my life at the Stepstones. Everybody respects you.
Right.
I was older than you when I got my first ship. I was younger than you when I got my first ship. So it's past time. Like you gonna be my first mate. And Alan's like, is it an order or a request? Because he don't want nothing from this man. All the attention that Corlys tries to pour on him and shit, he don't like that shit. He's like, nope, you don't treat me like your son for real. You don't claim us. Fuck you. And Corlys is like, I'll expect you to report for your duties on the morrow. Meaning, it's not really a command, but it's a command. And Alan accepts it as a command. It's just like a weird macho thing where unless he would have phrased it that way, Alan would have denied it. So Alan's gonna be first mate. They go back to the crib. Alan and Adam, the two brothers, are there. Alan is shaving his head because his hair is white. I was right. Well, I said, I wonder if he shaved all his hair off because it's that motherfucking Valerian. And it is.
He don't want that attention.
He don't want no parts of that shit. And his brother like, you ain't fooling nobody. Everybody know that you a motherfucking Valerian, nigga. And Alan is like, I do it so that the men don't get the wrong idea. And I think he wants to be viewed as I earned myself a spot on this ship all on my own. My daddy ain't do nothing for me. Which, okay, congrats. He don't want to be a Nepo baby. You want to beat the Nepo baby charges. Adam is like, oh, if it was me, I would be out here with the full dreads. In all white.
They wouldn't be able to tell me shit.
Like I drew my hair out and it's black and I grew it out just so they thinking I'm one of them. Like, fuck that. And so Adams he says, Alan, you're just like Corlys, stubborn and all this shit. And Alan is like, bro, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, don't you try to get me to fight you? What you doing? And Adam's like, bro, you ever think about all the shit we missed out on? You know what I'm saying? Like, we could have been in the house eating big ass prawns and going to parties and dressing nice. And
we was in the slums.
Right. And he's like, man, you resent Corlys. Corlys don't even pay me no damn attention. He be ignoring my ass.
Right. At least he know you exist.
And Alan is like, yeah, well, the sea snake would rather Driftmark be claimed by the sea than call us his sons. And I believe it, because Corlys is a clout chaser.
Yes.
A bastard son can't do nothing for him. Not for real. Like, that ain't helping him move up in the history books. They ain't helping him attain no rank. So he like, fuck him. Meanwhile, Adam is like, bruh, if he would just claim us, that'll make our lives so much better. We ain't got, like, what about what he can do for us? But yeah, Alan says, stop wasting your life waiting for something that's gonna never happen. Okay. So Adam go out to the beach like he do, looking for crabs. And Sea Smoke flies overhead again. He look up like, oh, it's Sea Smoke, man. I wish I could ride a dragon one day. And Sea Smoke start flying towards him.
Right? Sea Smoke is like, wait a minute.
Right.
I see somebody.
And like the first time he flies down there, it's kind of like maybe he trying to get a good look. Everybody on the beach start running. Second time, this motherfucker flies in a beeline towards Adam.
Yes.
And like pulls up before it can like hit him, but like it's close enough. And so Adam starts running. I don't blame him.
Right.
What the fuck that dragon want with me?
Right.
He runs into the woods. He falls down the hill. Sea Smokes seems gone. He look up in the sky. He just see a bird in the sky. So it's like, okay, I guess the dragon flew off. The way these dragons be popping up on niggas like Kendrick, they really just pop up. This is like the third or fourth time a dragon has scared the shit out of me on this show. It's just like, oh, they cool. Bam, dragon in your face.
Right.
So it landed directly in front of him with a big ass crash, and it got like a couple feet from his face. And it's just staring him all in the eyes. And it's not trying to set no fire on him. It's not trying to eat him.
It's like, I know who you are. Yes! That's how that dragon looked at him.
That dragon had something else on his mind. It said, listen, you need to get with somebody that's gonna appreciate you.
Get with with Teen Sea Smoke.
Okay, I see how you walk around with that hair. You remind me of my last owner.
Yeah, all that brown skin. That's probably why he flamed that other man. He was like, I want no white meat.
Right. I got a type.
He was like, I got a type in it, and it ain't you.
Right. I like thighs and legs, if you know what I mean. Okay.
I like my person well done.
I think he been clocking at him the whole time. Remember when he was flying over?
Yes, because he been flying every time he be down there. Sea Smoke we were just flying around him, around him.
Sea Smoke was like, I seen you from the sky the other day, and you come here often. You always getting crabs around here.
Yeah, he was like, I like my rider to have dreads.
Yeah, I noticed you doing a lot of riding ships. You could be flying, baby. You get with me, you ain't never got to get on no boat again.
Never again.
Okay, I'll get you that airmail.
It's me and you, baby, to the end. They was playing the clip. They was saying, Sea Smoke. It was this black lady that said, Sea Smoke is like, where the niggas with the dreads at?
Right.
Where the niggas with the dreads?
Let me say, you ever know anything about your cars? You know what I'm saying? you Do Harris right now, boy. So yeah,
what is that I smell? Cocoa butter?
Sea Smoke was out there choosing.
Yes.
Sea Smoke was like, listen, they gonna Photoshop Sea Smoke in that all white on that white couch. Okay, Sea Smoke ain't popped that balloon. All right. Oh man, and it made me think. Dragons, they choose their riders, kinda.
Yes, they do.
I wonder how much of that is with who they bonded with in the past, because I remember them bringing up Meleese. Meleese was Daemon's mother's dragon. Meleese did not bond with Daemon, and Daemon thought that Meleese would. She bonded with Rhaenyra, which makes me wonder if like Meleese wanted a rider like her original rider. And I wonder if that's the same thing with Sea Smoke. Like, I want somebody to remind me of Rhaenyra.
Yes.
Sir Darkling, I don't motherfucking know you.
Who? He looked at him like,
Right. I don't dine on the swine. I'm strictly Blackly over here. So, yeah, there you go, guys. That's it for this review. Karen, what do you look forward to next week?
Ooh, to see the fallout from Rhaenyra sending that food up there to King's Landing, because it's going to be fallout with that. I don't know if it's going to be this episode or next episode. Shit, it might be next season before they hear from Otto Hightower. Like, I'm waiting for them to hear something from him. I'm waiting to see what Bigfoot, Littlefoot, and Aemond, Aegon is planning. I'm sorry, Aegon is planning.
I just want to see this confrontation between Rhaenyra and Adam on the beach with these dragons.
Yeah,
because like they got it. It's at this point. You got to be asking him, what do you need to get down with us? Because you can't just be like, get off that dragon. No, you need dragon riders. And I like the cut of his jib, because in a way he reminds me of Corlys. He's tracing legacy. He want to step up. And you know Corlys gonna act like he see this boy now. Now he gonna, oh, my favorite son. How you doing, son? Oh my, is that my son?
Yes.
Okay, boy.
He gonna be like, that was my son the whole time. I'm gonna be like, you didn't mention anything about no sons.
Your last name Valerian now, boy. You Adam Valerian. Fuck that whole shit. You my boy. And now I wonder how that changes relationship with Alan, who's always rejected that attention. Adam wants that attention. So it's just a lot of moving parts. I'm very interested in this next week.
Shit, now he gonna show up like niggas is happy for voting for Kamala. He gonna be like, yeah, dog, let's go.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. So, and I feel bad for Sir Darkling, of course.
When did racism against white people become okay?
Apparently this week.
Sea Smoke said no.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to you next week. Until then, peace. I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
Bye, everybody.